the city, but as usual, what has to be done must be done. Hit the streets. Don't ever let day. So join us as we take a trip around the pages of newspapers today. And where else to start if not the oil industry that has been in the news in the last couple of days? We start with the Punch newspapers. Fuel crisis. Marketers project 700 billion naira monthly subsidy. That's from the Punch newspapers. And still on the Punch newspaper, fallout to the developing stories from over the weekend. Buy me out. Dangote offers to sell refinery to NNPC. Okay, still on the Punch newspaper. Fake kidnap. Appeal court affirms dethrone Magodo Monarchs jail term. Robbers rape Ogun students. Very sad one there. Let's touch on some local politics in Edo State. Edo polls, rising tension, legal battles, attacks, heightened political temperature. That's the summary of what is happening in Edo State. Minimum wage. Mastermind of general's murder nabbed in Kano. All the stories you can find on the front page of the Punch newspapers. Ondo Varsity students. Dapo Abiodun is the governor of Ogun State. Artisan bags live jail for defiling 13-year-old house help. Police arrest suspected robbers, recover 2 AK-47 magazines in Delta State. Goods destroyed as midnight fire raises Anambra market. Another sad one there. Others abandoned in Ondo State. Immigration officer, 3 others arraigned for drug trafficking. So these are the stories you can get on the front page of the Punch newspapers. All right, to the leadership newspapers now. Palliatives 1 week after 21 states await truckload of grains. That's from the leadership newspapers. Appeal court reaffirms Ighodalo as Edo PDP governorship candidate. Officer Mustafa defects to APC. Why I don't support planned protests, says Adebayo. Adebayo is a former presidential candidate of the SDP in the last general election. And back to Edo politics, reinstatement. My fight aims to stop ridiculing of deputy governor's office. That's according to Shoaibu, who was reinstated as deputy governor of Edo State. Still staying with the leadership newspapers, PDP lampoons Shoaibu over return to APC. APC wins Ebonyi Council polls. Yes, that story broke yesterday. And Obaseki Shoaibu trade blames over violent airport attacks. That story broke yesterday too. And so, any of those stories you can find on the front page of the leadership newspapers. The Tribune newspaper is next, and staying with the oil industry, FG moves to resolve crude supply dispute with Dangote refinery. I'm sure a lot of people will say this is a welcome development. FG to Nigerians abort planned protests with everything in place to alleviate hardship. Edun FIRS boss defense move to tax banks windfall. Okay, and how Tinubu can avert August 1 nationwide protest. This is according to Ajero. Ajero is the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress. And still staying with the wide protest. Others are stories that you can find on the front page. Okay, so the Nation newspaper and also staying with the protest story. Sean protests, ACF Ohaneze tell youth. And okay, let's take this story. Appeal court affirms dethrone monarchs jail them. Yeah, we read that story earlier in the Punch. And ministry sensitizes levy on forex windfall. That's according to the finance minister. And the story is ensure maintenance of solar-powered cold room. Newspapers. And Daily Trust is next, and it has this bold headline with a question mark. Is Nigeria a conducive environment for investors? Minister intervenes in Dangote NNPCL brawl. FG moves to reunite Dangote with regulators. Some northern politicians promoting pull him down syndrome. That's according to the governor of Kaduna State. Okay, so these are the stories that you can find on the front page of the Daily Trust. Alright, we'll take a short break now, and when we return, we will go into details of the way.
Citizen FM Abuja, now we be the voice of the people.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
There is no health without mental health. As Nigerians, about 50 million Nigerians suffer one mental disorder or another. So, are you depressed, anxious, having suicidal thoughts, or just tired of life? Your feelings are valid. This is My Mental Health Niger, and I am Dima Amadi on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. On My Mental Health Niger, we share secrets, real-life stories, and conversations that shed light on mental health in Nigeria. Join me every Thursday 4 p.m.
Which kind tori una wan hear on top radio? Wetin dey catch fire on top social media? Bring am on top Make We Talk Am for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday go reach Thursday, and the time na 5:10 wey be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk am as e dey be.
Feeling low, bored, or confused?
Wants your dream to brightly glow?
Here is what to do.
Women's Corner is waiting just for you.
Education, work, lifestyle,
and see you through. Finding your voice, reaching high, and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly.
Reach all your glories.
It's Women's Corner on Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja.
Woman,
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM here in Abuja. My name is Lawrence Moiti. Welcome to the second part of the show. And as usual, my guest is here in the studio, Mr. Salmon Salah.
And very good morning to our citizen listeners.
Okay, you can join the discussion. The phone lines are open already, 0903 2229 797. You can also call us on 0818 2222 205 or 0818 2222 206. So, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of these numbers, and we will be glad to read your message. Just let us know where you are writing in from. So, Mr. Salami, we start with the leadership newspapers. FG palliatives, 1 week after, 21 states await truckload of grains. At least 21, okay, let's start from here. 1 week after the federal government announced the distribution of 740 truckloads of grains, including rice, to the 36 states, only 5 states have confirmed receipt of the grains. At least 21 others have taken delivery in their rice consignments are Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Kwara, and Rivers. However, the other states are still awaiting theirs. Mr. Salami, a lot of people...
Our super citizen listeners. I will start with this proverb or this adage that somebody with a skilled leg, they were asking him that the load you are carrying is not straight. He told them that, why don't you look at my legs? This is a very, very tasking moment for this country. Tasking in the sense that the hardship in the land is real. It is real because we know, and we know because we are with the people. I want to believe that there is a glaring disconnect between the government and the people. I want to say it again, that logistical issues. But the point is this: why will you announce that there will be grains when you are not asking the states that or the chief executive that, yes, while we are waiting for the palliative from the federal government, 5% increase. And what comes to our state, what precisely are you doing with it? Yes, there is the need to talk about the palliatives not reaching the state after a week. But more than that, what are the governors doing? Precise federal government, please and please do something for your people. Spend the money on the people. The money from the federal government or the allocation from the federal government is for the people. What precisely are you doing with it? Please ask questions. Hold your governors accountable. Hold them responsible. It is your money.
All right, I agree with you, Mr. Salami, on the need for Nigerians to hold elected representatives to account at every level, from the local government. This issue of palliatives should not be restricted to the federal government. I know that maybe because of how some of the states handle their media approach, I know that some states are doing something, but if it's not there in the media, then it's as good as winking in the dark you need to let people. Tribune newspaper, this is a story that we spoke extensively yesterday, the controversy oil industry. FG moves to resolve crude supply dispute with Dangote. And this is how the Tribune newspaper puts the story. The federal government on Monday moved to resolve the crisis of confidence that has developed between the regulators and the multi-billion-dollar Dangote refineries over crude oil supply. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Heineken Lupobri, convened a high-level meeting with key stakeholders to attempt to deal with the matter, which had gained prominence in the media space in recent times. The chairman of Dangote Group had alleged that the cabal was intent on sabotaging the operations of the refinery. The public dispute came to a head when the chief executive of the Nigerian mainstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority, Mr. Farouk Ahmed, alleged that the Dangote refinery was yet to be licensed, just as he said its products have excess sulfur. Mr. Salami, yesterday we called for the intervention of higher authorities. It seems this is already happening.
Well, it is a very welcome development. It is good that Mr. Lukubiri, the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum, has waded in on behalf of the federal government. All our refineries are, but the very man, an independent initiative, somebody pumped his money, or is too little, or it is adulterated. For God's sake, does this accord with sense, with common sense? What have they been doing since all these days with all our refineries? And a private commence production. It is now, we now know that it was not licensed. Why it was being built, they didn't see it because it was just a small bungalow. So, and all this, they never bothered. They never saw it in the book that it was not licensed. There is more to all this than it meets the eye. There was something I was reading which I would not say because as media men, when you have not verified and you are in doubt, we want to believe that there is more to it than it meets the eyes.
Exactly, and apart from the fact that this is a very huge investment, also the image of Nigeria is at stake because foreign investors are watching. People look, if somebody, an individual can power this kind of huge investment, I can do it. But when things like this happen, sometimes people get discouraged. But thank God for the intervention of higher authorities, and let's see how this works out at the end of the day. The Nation newspapers now. Mr. Salami, this story has also been a talking point, even for us in the newsroom. The protest, the August protest, and some very powerful socio-cultural organizations have weighed in from the Nation newspaper and the Ohaneze Ndigbo. Yesterday, disassociated themselves from the protest being planned by some Shaudri groups. Also yesterday, Kaduna State Governor Obasani urged President Bola Tinubu to address grievances being expressed by those planning the protest. The ACF National Chairman, Maman Mike Osuman, said the indices that track human progress, including poverty, illiteracy, health, and security of life and property, tend to place the North at the back. He disassociated the group from the proposed protest, saying that it is ill-timed and counterproductive. And I'm looking for, this is Ohaneze Ndigbo maintained that the people of Southeast will not participate in the protest. Ohaneze said in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Dr. Ales Ogbonia, that Nigeria should understand that the current economic situation will not last forever. Mr. Salami.
Well, let us thank God for this. And also, the is ill time and will be counterproductive. You see, let us admit that Nigerians have the right to protest. Let us also admit that Nigerians have the inalienable of expression. It is in our constitution. But let us be practical about it. I have not seen any protest that has been peaceful. Even if it begins as a peaceful protest, it always ended up as a violent one, because there are so many non-state actors want to believe that laughing because I've heard that it's audible to the deaf
and even
and perhaps tangible
to the paralytic.
This is the truth. But then the government is doing something, no doubt about it, not take time. We have to strike a balance. Those who intend to protest, they have some grievances. And what I think the government should do is this: to call them and engage them. Perhaps they do not know the efforts the government is making in alleviating the sufferings of the people. I believe that if the government calls them for a meeting and the government tells them that yes, we feel your pains, we understand what you are going through, we also know that the town is not smiling, but this and this are what we are doing. This is what we have done, and this is what we also intend to do. I am very, very sure that these people are reasonable people, and they will see reason. But when you don't communicate, and when people think that they are taking us purportedly for a ride, or that the government is not doing enough, or that they have something which they want government to do, because protest means sending a signal or a message to the authorities, and this is against some perceived wrongs. But with conversation, with dialogue, for the government to engage all the critical stakeholders on what government is doing. I must say this too, that the federal government's information apparatus needs to be rejigged. They are doing something, no doubt about that. They can still do more. I believe that joy is better than war. Protest, as it were, and as it always turns out, is always an ill wind that will blow nobody any good. I believe that at the end of everything and anything, we still have to come back to the table. Please, let us resolve this one amicably. Let all the parties do the needful.
Exactly, Mr. Salami. Just like you said, protests, you only know how it starts. You never know how it will end, because sometimes reach out to critical people respected in the society, traditional rulers, women. Just reach out to a lot of people, be able to look at things dispassionately and say, okay, let's just give this government the benefit of doubt for now and see how things turn out. When the story broke in 2017 or thereabout, when we had the kidnap of this Oba in Lake Monarch's jail term, Changisha in Magodo, the convict to 15 years imprisonment. Dissatisfied with the judgment, Ogundare approached the court to challenge the decision of the lower court, which sentenced him to 15 years imprisonment. However, when the case was called on Monday, Jibrin Karim announced his appearance for the respondents. Okay, those are details. Delivering the judgment, the lead justice of the three-man panel who read the verdict upheld the judgment of the lower court in 1 and 2 and upturned count 3. That means other justices of the panel, Basil, said that the Ogundare appeal succeeded in part. But the main thing is the court held that the appellant is to serve 10 years imprisonment for count 1 and 2. On the third count, upturned the sentence irrespective of false representation. And the convict was first remanded in 2017 in Kirikiri prison by an Ogba magistrate court for allegedly faking his kidnap. Ogundare was prosecuted along with his wife and brother. They were arraigned, and this story was interesting because at the end of the day, the kidnap was said to have happened in 2017, but Ogundare later confessed to security services that he staged the kidnap to blackmail the state. I picked this story, Mrs. Salas. It's a serious matter.
To kidnap is bad enough. To fake kidnapping is even worse. And when a monarch, in whatever name, whether Bale, whether Mia, whether Obio, when those who are supposed to be the custodians of our culture and of our values are now involved in this, then, my dear, the hen has truly come
to roost.
Well, I think in all this, it is a societal problem. This is part of what you see in a developing society. I keep on saying it that criminals will always want to commit crime, especially when it is attractive and when the chances of being caught
is very
slim. That is where we have problem. What are the chances of being caught? If butted, what is the preparedness, the state of preparedness of the state security agencies to tackle this menace? I've been saying it, and I'll keep on saying it, that, what am I saying? When ransom are paid, some will be paid, and nothing, we are talking.
There must be trail.
We are talking. We are really now talking. And unless we are really ready to address this issue, especially as it regards foiling it, where is the SSS? Where is the Defense Intelligence? Where is DIA? I've been saying it that prevention is not only better than cure,
but cheaper.
It is cheaper. It is cheaper. When you need these things in the board, do you remember the case of that American who was kidnapped? That America came from America to pick the guy in Sokoto. You remember?
Yeah.
That is. Can heal thyself.
Hey, but Mrs. Salami, I understand what you're saying, but you see, sometimes when we put the act after that has been done, because it's not as if people are coming from outside to do this. This is a well-planned thing from within the house.
Lawrence, the man who faked his kidnap did not fake it alone.
With his friends.
With some people. You see, that is the essence of intelligence.
But we have to give kudos to the police for busting this, because how did this come to light? It was the effort of security agents who found out that this was fake.
They have tried. They should try more. But what we are saying is there is the need for the security agencies to do more. We appreciate what they are doing, no doubt. And we know that the people involved in this criminal act, they are not ghosts. They are not ghosts.
All right, see somebody, the man we are talking about now, is going for.
I changed my mind about capital punishment. At a stage, I am not for capital punishment. Why? Because the finality of death itself makes death sentence meaningless to me. Because the essence of punishment is for the person you punish to requires abnormal treatment. Death sentence or penalty might at the end of the day not be out of place, given a peculiar situation. You must send warning or riot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. And Let's move on to Edo State. In the last couple of months, Mr. Salami, the kind of signals coming out from Edo State, those signals are not really very encouraging because we have two off-cycle elections this year, Edo and Ondo. Stories of violence, stories of confrontation and everything. Now let's look at the Punch newspaper. Edo polls, rising tension, Edo State's political landscape has been in turmoil as rival political parties, APC and PDP and Labour Party, have been at one another's throat. Mr. Salami, you're very familiar with all the happenings from the attack at the airport to attempted assassination and so many other things coming just because election is around the corner. Have we really learnt any lesson?
I doubt very much that have we even taken any lesson? Because you are talking of learning. Are we in class at all? Do we even have a teacher? You see, it is sad the way things are going. Cheap. Some people pay the supreme price for us to get this democracy. And to all intents and purposes, we need to be circumspect. We need to know that at the center of does not meet the yearnings and aspirations of the people. It's not what it is being called. And I do not think that you need kill if you want to serve the people. If service, you don't force yourself on the people. Because at the end of the day, sovereignty resides in the people. What is coming out from Edo State, especially, is not. It is saddening. It's the order of the day in Edo State, and the tension is very high. The political barometer is something to the found to be truth. I think there should be sanction. And we've been saying this thing that there should be consequence. There should be consequence. And I want to warn both parents and embark on Togri. His son should lead.
Even if he leads, it's still not enough for you to join.
They just tell him that let your son lead us. The son is not even here. The moment they are not ready to participate, not in your.
Okay, Mr. Salami, just a moment. I think we have a call here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Very good morning to you, sir.
And everybody in the studio.
we're trying, buddy. We got no chance.
We are checking on each other these days. That's on a lighter note. Yeah. Most especially someday, this is not going to stand tall. To the issue, Law, you just said something about the Dangote. I didn't hear about. I was praying then. I didn't hear it, but somebody has intervened. The Dangote issue, somebody would have loved us to even analyze the whole Dangote process as an indigenous company in the country. The guy who spoke that day, Lawrence, on the very Sahara Energy. My concern is just like what Mr. Salami said the other day. That issue could have been handled internally. Coming out in the public, if that guy is still in office and Malan Kerry is still in office, this government does not mean business. By now, would have heard that Kerry and that guy have left office. Because this is the biggest indigenous company in the country. And the refinery in the country not to work. This is a clear story of it. But I hope and pray, if government have intervened, at the end of the day, something good should come out. And they should allow Dangote should continue his business. A man cannot invest such huge an amount of money. And somebody, as we call ourselves the giant of Africa, we better do the giant and not do smaller things. Lawrence, good morning.
Good morning, buddy. Thank you for always representing. Thank you. Have take one or two calls before we wrap it up. 0903 22 29797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0818 2222206. Mrs. Salami, you were still talking about the Edo politics and how violence has taken over. Just give you a...
Fight another day. Politics is not war. It's just an election.
All right.
It is as it is.
Okay, still talking before we leave the Edo matter. Reinstatement, my fight aims to stop ridiculing of Deputy Governor's office. That's coming from Shaibu, Philip Shaibu. The court reinstated Deputy Governor of Edo State, Comrade Philip Shaibu, said his fight against his impeachment was to protect the Deputy Governor's office in Nigeria, which he said has been in service. That his reinstatement by the court was an act of God, and also was the wants the federal government and the Inspector General of Police to investigate the killing of a policeman while on his way from Benin Airport. Mr. Salami, why did I pick this story? What the Deputy Governor is saying, Deputy Governor, was it really designed by the framers of our Constitution to be effective? I really doubt.
I study psychology. The deputy, the governor, and he naturally.
The governor is still on the seat.
The governor is still alive and in charge, and his actions should not. There is, if care is not taken, and the deputy governor, between the governor and know that we are going to work together as a team for the betterment of our state. Unless there is that resolve and the desire to work together and shun the, of course you know what I'm talking about, because they are always there.
But Mr. Salami, most of the time the governor and the deputy work together. Most times the governor will always have another choice instead of the deputy governor, and the deputy governor will feel, I am also qualified. That's where, if you look at the history of the disagreement between governors and deputy, it's always during election time.
39 years, I know the difference between a monkey and a deputy. I can tell you for free that most times they just patching it up. Tell me which governor succeeded his boss.
Which deputy
Governor succeeded his boss since 1999, apart from the man in Zamfara, and we know how it ended.
But Ganduje also did.
Ganduje too did. Of course, you know. I don't need to tell you. Yes, he did. He really did. You see, the truth is this: there is the need for a rethink as to whether we need the position of a deputy governor or not.
Exactly.
That is how I would put it.
My position always, I've always said that. Always need somebody to stand by in case something happens to the incumbent. And I think it should be clear to all that the moment you are elected as a deputy governor, it just means that you fade completely into the background until when there is need for you to show.
Well, you can inflate the tire.
All right, Mr. Salami, I think we'll have to leave it there. It's always very interesting to have you on the show. Always very enlightening to have you on the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Salman Salami, for your insight on this program.
We thank God for everything, and I thank you too. And I thank all our citizen listeners participating in this place. We are here because of you.
All right, that's our package for today. Let's make it a deal tomorrow again. Same time, same station on the show as we come with newspaper review. My name is Lawrence Omoite. Enjoy the rest of your day.